Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, I've been, along with a lot of other people, pretty critical of Obama's strategy in Iraq and Syria. Now, I fully supported our withdrawal because, for one thing, we couldn't stay. The Iraqis presented conditions to us that didn't allow us to stay in Iraq. George Bush agreed to those conditions and we pulled out. But even though I've been pretty critical of Obama's strategy in that area, it has borne some fruit. The ISIS was at one time 7 miles away from Baghdad, and now they've been pushed back to the point where about the only territory that they really have control of in Iraq is Mosul, and that is surrounded and isolated. And ISIS at one time extended all the way to the Turkish border, and they've been pushed back there. So our air supports and the Kurds fighting has been pretty effective, but the Kurds are not interested in controlling that territory. And the question is, are we willing to send in a whole bunch of troops on the ground to do that? Because if we wanted to, if we sent in our army, it would take very little time to take the ground that ISIS holds, because they're not going to stand and confront us. They're just going to melt away, and then they'd rely on insurgent attacks like IEDs and hit and run attacks to maim and kill our troops. So there would be a cost to staying there. Now you have to remember, we've had bases in Europe and Korea and Japan since World War II. They've been there so long that nobody questions, why are we still there? Is that the way it would have to be in Syria and Iraq? Would we have to stay there forever like we have in these other places? And the American people don't seem to want to do that at this point, because unlike Japan and Korea and Europe, nobody's targeting our bases in those places. But they would be under constant attack if we were in Syria and Iraq for any length of time. Do we have the stomach for that? And it's not enough to take away ISIS's territory, because there's a PR war going on. There's a war on the internet that is going on. That's just as important as the war on the ground. We have to find the people, for example, who make those ISIS recruiting videos, and we have to kill them. We have to find the people who are recruiting people online for ISIS and Al-Qaeda and other groups and kill them too. We have to find their tech support people, their IT people, their nerds, and kill them too. Because it's not enough to kill their soldiers. We have to kill those people. The war in cyberspace is just as important as the war on the ground. Thanks for listening.